This over here is what you'd expect to see in 1953 at a restaurant in Stockholm. The Swedes invented this Hasselbackspotatis, and the cuts all over the potatoes here are the reason why the potatoes get so nice and crispy and well cooked inside. A lot of people get these exact cuts wrong as they prep their own Hasselback potatoes, so let's see what you can do to get it right. Before we get into it, this video is part of a collaboration with a lot of other YouTube cooks, so I'm going to link all of their channels down below because they're all celebrating Swedish food under the hashtag Swedish recipes, so go check that out. See, Hasselbackspotatis was created in the Djurgården area of Stockholm. A culinary student there developed this technique of cutting these slits about 75% of the way down the potato all around the surface, and the name has stuck ever since. But what started as a Swedish fine dining side dish of potatoes has become one of the most looked after, has become one of the most searched for recipes on the internet. Now, what you don't want to presume is that these cuts are just for presentation. It's so much more than that. See, those cuts aren't just aesthetic. The more cuts you make and the deeper you go, the more chance you have for Maillard reaction, because there's way more surface area for the chemical reaction to happen to give the potatoes a nice crisp and a nice golden brown exterior. The shape here is the science, so let's get into 3 mistakes that you should avoid. Mistake number 1 is cutting too shallow. The trap you don't want to fall under is just making these beautiful aesthetic cuts, but not committing all the way through. You don't want to go 25% into the potato, not 50%, much closer to 75 to 80%. Because when the slices stay closer together because you didn't cut deep enough, you didn't make essentially an accordion of these potatoes, then you're going to build a bunch of steam inside the potato with nowhere for it to escape. And if the steam doesn't escape, that prevents the Maillard reaction from starting sooner as you cook. The steam is the enemy of crispy, so we want to avoid that. That's why the air fryer is great for making this dish, because the air fryer will move hot air in potatoes that have been properly sliced for this Hasselback recipe. If you're making this for the first time, it's okay if you make a few weird cuts and not have the potatoes be perfectly sliced. And while you can just freehand the cuts, what could be simpler is to use these chopsticks as a guide as you cut down, so it stops you at around the range you want to cut through. Just be careful at the edges. Mistake number 2 is only oiling the outside. See, if you only grease the outside, you're completely avoiding the fans, the accordion, the slices you've created inside the potato, which means less flavor and less Maillard reaction and less browning. For the Maillard reaction to take place, it needs direct fat contact. So you want to make sure that you're meticulous with that garlic herb butter, and you brush not only the outside but also get inside the slice carefully without breaking the potatoes apart. So fan the slices open with your fingers after cutting it, and then drizzle the oil generously between each layer. It doesn't have to go all the way down. Let gravity help you out. And of course, you want to season it all the way through as well, so make sure the slices have some gaps for the seasoning like salt and pepper to fall right through, and not just over the surface of the potato. Now, what's going to make these potatoes even better is if you put something like sage or fresh bay leaves between those slices, so that when the potatoes bake through, the herbs flavor it from the inside out. And that brings us to mistake number 3, not re-basting halfway through. See, what separates a great Hasselback potato versus an okay one is if you just let the potatoes cook blindly for about 25-30 minutes. You instead want to come back around halfway down the cooking time and then grease the potatoes again. See, while the air fryer is great to create that hot, dry condition for the crispening process to take place, it also tends to dry out too much and way more than our traditional oven. So you want to help it a bit. So give it a second coating of grease, or even just spray with some olive oil and then continue cooking. Otherwise, the outer slices will go from crispy to dry, while the inner slices wouldn't be fully crispened yet. So at 15 minutes, make sure you get between the slices, re-grease, and then continue cooking until the potatoes are all the way done cooking. And here's what you're looking for. Every slice is independently golden, band open, and crispy on the edges with a nice soft, fluffy interior. That's 3 mistakes fixed. Now make sure you check out the other collabs under the hashtag Swedish recipes. And if you liked this video, then make sure you check out my twice baked Irish potatoes. They are to die for. And if you love potatoes, that's the right next step for you.